Bonjour, hello. Um, Thank you, Entwined, for the invitation, and to Kai Studios for hosting us today. I'm Zakaria El Haddani. I'm the co-founder of Gazelle Hafla, the party, and the founder of Corne Gazelle, the podcast. And I'm here with you today to talk a little bit about our experience, me and some of my partners in the collective, about how it started, what we did this year, and yeah, all the crazy things that we went through. So for us, 2025 is a year that will stay carved into our hearts. A year of achievements so wild that I still fully don't believe they happened. From a successful second season of the podcast to launching our collective to creating events that felt almost unreal, it went like a dream. If you had asked me at this time last year whether any of this was possible, I would have told you you were out of your mind. It's true that the work began more than 2 years ago, but this was the year when everything finally came together. We brought Corne de Gazelle out of the online world into real life. We gave it a voice, a shape, a pulse. Gazelle Hafla became its character. So, like any new project, we struggled, we shook, we doubted, and we sometimes felt completely lost. But we made it all work, and that's we were a group of stubborn, passionate people who believed in the idea with everything we had, with a lot of generosity and in the most selfless way. I am deeply grateful for that because that is the real reason Corne de Gazelle Collective became what it is today. So today I want us to look back on this journey, to highlight what we built, to give credit where it's due, and to be honest about what we could do better and how we could care better and care more, and probably spill some tea as well. So let's think of this as an intimate conversation between friends, not a formal talk or even a podcast, you know. It is the end of the year, so let's enjoy this moment together, celebrate what we have created, and imagine how we can make more of these moments in the future. So I will start with giving some cute numbers of what we did this year for Gazelle Hafla, for instance, for the party. So it all started in February, and in 9 months, we have done 6 events, 2 collabs with Adira, with Abrupt, three actually, Queer X. We had 3 sold out editions, and we sold more than 2,300 tickets with zero subsidy and zero support from any institution, of course. So I'm so proud of this, and I'm so proud of the team we have, and I'm so proud of everything we did this year, because the aim of creating this space was really to create a space that we couldn't find. There was no financial intention behind it. Okay, honestly, yes, the finance part is important, because how would you sustain the project if you don't make money? But there was never this idea of let's do this and see how we can make it profitable. From day one was really the idea to create a space that didn't exist, with people who didn't get booked in Brussels, and to enter spaces we couldn't enter before, and to make aesthetics we didn't make, you know. The idea was really to reflect Arab queerness in music, in aesthetics, in scenography, in conviviality, in the vibe actually. And I think we succeeded in doing that despite all the numbers, or like with or without help. So I'm so proud of that. And I remember the first cabaret we did was at Grand Carme. Uh, it was so handmade, like we had absolutely zero experience with anything, and we didn't even sold tickets. Like it was just come to the door and pay what you want. And we were lucky because someone like Diva Beirut, for instance, would never come to this kind of events, you know, because she's only booked in big events, big parties where they would pay her like her flight and her hotel, and she would ask for like a proper pay, and uh, she didn't hesitate 1 second when we asked her to come. She didn't even ask about being paid or not. And yeah, then we felt like, okay, there is something going on, there is something happening right now. And of course with Shirin Falastin Ahmed, who's here today, yeah, we were super hyped. I'm like, let's try, let's see what's gonna happen. And it just went crazy. We expected like 100 people and we ended up with 200 people, 50. And then I was like panicking, like where we're gonna put these people. But it all worked out, and I think it's one of my favorite moments of all times because it was the first time. It was the first time we meet the crowd that we only saw like virtually because the podcast existed for almost 2 years, but we never actually had any physical event before that. So yeah, it all started from there, and we said, okay, this is serious. We need to do something, and this is the idea of actually creating the collective, launching the collective, which we did as well in March in Mad, Brussels, which was absolutely beautiful. It was so nice, and we did a fundraising, and we got so much help from our friends and allies, and that was like really the the power that gave us like the idea to go more and go further. And it all came together with the big first event at La Vallée during the Pride weekend. Yeah, and the rest is history. So I would like to invite first person to join me here in the talk. So Ahmed, Shirin Falastin, I think everybody knows her now. So Ahmed is my partner. We are two crazy people who doesn't tell each other you're crazy. So we just go with our crazy ideas. So we keep pushing each other. I don't know how to say that in English, but in French we say "y a pas l'un pour rattraper l'autre." Et, since our first meeting with Ahmed, it was immediately a click. And it started with a episode for the podcast, and we were like, we should do something. Like we felt this thing, like what can we do? What can we do? And the thing is, Ahmed was already starting in drag with Shirin Falastin, and yeah, this is how it all started. So, what would you like to say first?
First, thank you. Thank you for this talk, and thank you for really highlighting these collectives and for the visibility intertwined and Kai Theater. It's been definitely a struggle. It's been definitely a lot of work. I had many doubts, and I was like, what did I put myself into? Sometimes because I had another job, and then when this started and went wild, and we see really the need of such a collective or such a place for all these people from different backgrounds. Like it's the biggest immigration, ratio that in Brussels from North Africa and East Asia. And it's crazy that until now there is not a big party for them or a safe space. And as well crazier is like there is not institutions that supporting such activity as well. And we started it and we see the need, and I see how people are happy really to come to our party, and they're sometimes crying, or they really need such a space, they really need to hear the music, they really need to meet. So it was all beautiful, and then I felt a huge responsibility when I started this. And I got a lot of critique for my makeup and
Shade.
but yeah, we all improved, and it was such a learning journey. But I'm super happy, and it's heartwarming to see what we created. And I hope we continue, although I hate Zach sometimes, but
I
it's a
also
love-hate
hate me
relationship
sometimes.
like Brussels. But he's the best, really. He's like the, let's say, the shark that keeps things going and protecting the whole thing, and the one who can deal with white people, definitely. It's very well trained for this, and then yeah, you know, creating all this from nothing. It's like no chapeau. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and we'll talk later about the shade. So, what would was for you like if I would ask you from everything we've done this year, what was for you the moment that you said, "Oh my gosh, this is huge," and it went like, allez, beyond what you expected? Because we know that Shireen before we started Gazelle Hafla and Shireen after we started Gazelle Hafla, it's completely two different things. Also aesthetically, but also like on a level of visibility as well. So where did did you say, okay, this went way much more than I expected?
It actually was like multiple moments. You know, every time I see like, oh my God, this is big. There's another moment that comes, and it even like it looks bigger in my eyes. So I think like the first time it was when I saw the first party we did, the cabaret, and there was no more space, but we opened the curtains and people were looking outside to see the show because they couldn't enter, and it was like, and I realized how people so much are like in love with this concept, and they were like all there and watching from outside, from inside, wherever they can find a space just to see such a thing, and to see how much they need it as well, and how much joy we bring to the people as well, and resistance and resilience and all of these things, when we bring them together to give them hope to keep going as well. So I think this is the biggest responsibility that I feel sometimes. And aesthetically, I look at Sten for aesthetics. I know that it was a journey and we learned a lot. But as you said, it was handmade at the beginning. We didn't have support, and we still don't have support. So I hope people are understanding this and go easy on us on judgments. But yeah, we are small, we're getting big, and I'm sure there will be really beautiful moments. We have so many ideas, and it's also beautiful, and it's just like we really need to find the space, the support, and that's what we mostly struggle with.
Yeah.
It's big for me. It's definitely it doesn't exist here, so
Yeah.
that already says a lot.
Yeah, I think it's even like for some people, like I've been talking a lot about it because people sometimes comes to you and they're like, you know, telling you how much they're happy about everything and how much joy they have experienced. And like Ahmed said, we had people crying on the dance floor of joy, which was like super shocking for us because we didn't realize that this was actually really needed. Uh, and this is where you realize that actually you're not just creating a party, you're actually giving a chance to people actually to exist publicly and to be seen. If I direct the same question to myself, I would say like after the Vauxhall, the open air, it just went like crazier than I would ever expected. The images circulated a bit everywhere, and it went outside of Belgium. So immediately they were taken in some media in France, in some media in Morocco. They were taken as well sometimes outside of context by some homophobe media in the Middle East or in some other countries. There was some Zionist pages criticizing us because they would say, yeah, if you are gay and proud, go to Gaza and you'll see. So there was like, it took too much proportions than what we would expect, uh, which was a bit overwhelming. But also at the same time, I was like, okay, if it made this amount of effect on people, and if it made this amount of noise, that means there is something there. There is something triggering people there. But it's just a bunch of gay and queer people wearing wigs and having fun. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? But it still has so much power, and it triggers so many people. I remember there was this media in France called Leak. It's one of the major TikTok and social media in France. And whenever there is something buzzing somewhere, they do like an article, reportage about it. So they contacted me. They're like, we saw the images. It looks absolutely amazing. We would like to do a reportage about the event. So I gave them all the informations, and I was like, please be careful what you say, because you weren't there. You don't know exactly how it is. So they were very respectful in that sense. And then they posted the video, which went viral immediately. And I started seeing so many homophobic um, comments under the video from people who doesn't know us, who doesn't even live here. Uh, death threats for me, death threats for Shireen. And then I was like, okay, what have we done? This is not just a party, you know? Like, I don't hear that other queer parties in Brussels, they go on Instagram and after 1 week they get death threats on social media and stuff like this. But then I wasn't scared. I told them, you know what? Just close the comment section and let the video just be there, because I don't care about their opinion. I'm not doing it for them. I don't care what you think. If you're homophobic, good for you. I don't want to know it. So the moment they closed the comment sections in all their socials, the video went crazy. It went like 600K views and 30K shares. I don't remember the exact numbers, but for us, these are huge numbers, you know, like we just started. And then I've become a bit more aware of what we do and what we would present and how would we present it, because there will always be someone out there who's gonna accuse us of something, either Zionists, either homophobes, either some racist people as well. There was some white racist people who gave also some insults. So we are in the intersectionality of all of these fights, and making this kind of events daylight, so big, so out there, so proud, it did trigger a lot of people, and I'm happy to do that. um, and if I would ask you, what was the best moment for you? Like the most moment you had, like you were so happy or so proud?
I think in every event, I really had overwhelming feelings that I struggled even like how to interpret or put them in place. I was always filled with joy, filled with so many beautiful emotions that I didn't experience for the longest time. So it was so beautiful. Like I think everything has to matter when you hear the people opinion, when you hear how genuine they are, when you hear how happy they are, and that was so beautiful to witness. And I receive energies, so I always receive these beautiful energies and people cheering me and cheering other drag queens and other performers and DJs and artists. And I'm so proud of all the team who does as well the scenography, the work. Like in no time, we do everything and we all stick together. I think the proudest is like how we stick together. Like when we set up everything, then we are on the stage, and then the next day I'm cleaning the floor.
It's true.
From a diva to like
Diva down. Diva
So
down.
so these are the proudest.
Even Diva Beirut, even Diva
Yeah,
Beirut,
yeah, all
we
of us.
made her come break down and clean with us
It's crazy.
after Vauxhall because we
Yeah.
were so understaffed.
And we don't
And
have.
she was like, I have videos of her screaming, I'm Diva Beirut, and you're making me do this. It was so funny.
Yeah, I think this is the proudest moment. I think it's just the family. It became like a family
Yeah.
that we created.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not just for us. It's really like we all want this thing to go and work, and nobody does it with personal interest out of it. There are so many people who worked with us and helped us that nobody knows about that did tremendous amount of work that I would also like today to thank, like to say really thank you. There are people in our team within and also not necessarily from our team who gave everything they could give to make every event successful. There is Arthur. He took the responsibility of the logistics and the production part with us, knowing that he has also a job. And that guy, after Vauxhall, it was raining like crazy on Sunday, while we went all like just having fun and chilling after the party. He was breaking down under the rain by himself with everything because we had like engagements towards the institution and towards Brussels by night and the venue. So we said like at this time you will have everything cleaned up and cleared, and we respected that engagement because someone like Arthur took 2 days of their work and their life and they were just working under the rain just to do so. And for me it's very important to highlight this kind of work because this is what allowed us to do what we did, and this is what will allow us to continue. There is Isai, there is Philippe, there is Muhammad, Sten, who will join us later, Tutia as well, Abdallah, Nashaz, our sister collective, Syrian queers, who now they hold a space in Torre Taxi, and we hosted the after party of Vauxhall there. And I would really invite you to go check that place. It's super cool. It's very underground. They also don't get any support, and they do like really cool events there. And they really supported us on many levels. The Zaffe moment, it was with them. Logistically also they helped us. We did the after party with them, and I would like to give them really credits for that. And till today some people from Nashaz, they would come help us like build the events and break down. Abdallah, he comes every time, the first person to arrive. So these people actually are the hope when you don't get any subsidy or help or financial, but you then you have these people and you're like, okay, I can do it, you know, because this is like I would say it's compensates a bit because some other collectives maybe they have the money and the subsidy but they don't have this spirit and this soul and this like how to say this I lose my my English today. This desire of really making this thing work and make it work in the proper way. So yes, I would really do that, and some of the people actually helped us. I see them
Yeah,
coming today. So hi Sarah,
Sarah.
hi Morad. These are our beautiful volunteers every party. And yes, so many people every time showed up to volunteer. So really shout out to them. Thank you. Please keep coming.
Yeah, you
We
know,
want you with us.
now I'm thinking about it. Maybe we don't need subsidies. Because these people do it with love, and that's what's important.
Let me tell you one thing about, because this is actually a very important point that I remembered. Every person who volunteered with us, they get a volunteering fee, which a lot of events and parties don't do because they give tickets or drinks, etc. But we said since day one, everyone who comes and involved in our events and does work with us, except our friends who does it for free. So people who actually send us emails to say, I want to volunteer, they always get a volunteering fee, they get free tickets and they get free drinks. So please keep an eye on the next events. We want you with us. So I would like to go to the the part actually of the collective that we don't get to talk a lot about, but it's actually the basis of everything, which is the podcast. It's the reason why also we're here today. So this idea of taking the podcast from the online world to the real life, I think it was one of the most beautiful things we think about doing, because the podcast existed for 2 years. People were listening to us, people were listening to our stories, people were following some of the people who were involved in the podcast, but they never got the chance to see them either perform or see them actually live or like see them play music. And I'm eternally grateful for the podcast, which I would like to say that it will never stop as long as I still have energy. So now it's true that we had to do like a pause because of the work of the events and the collective, which is a lot. But there will be a third season from next year, and it will go even deeper. We're gonna try to bring people who never get the chance to talk, people who never get the chance to be booked. And the podcast is really the reason why we all actually gathered here today, and the reason why we actually met.
True, true.
Do you wanna add something?
About the podcast.
Oh, yeah, or anything.
Yeah, I mean, the podcast is really a great platform to highlight as well queer people, not just in Brussels, but around the globe, and give them visibility. I love the idea. You have to keep going. I think there are many who are underrepresented, and not just queer as per se or gay, but we have a huge trans community as well that we're highlighting, and they're struggling as well. Um, and it's I love the link that you always do, that once we highlight them as well, we bring them to perform, so people as well have a story behind of everyone. So it's participating into the humanizing them as well, because we get dehumanized a lot. So
And give a face and give a name and give a,
we all have
a
stories.
story.
Yes, definitely. So it's a very beautiful way actually, and I love the way it's done.
So the podcast this year was among our finalists on the Belgium Grand Prix podcast for French-speaking podcast in the tall category. That was one of really of most highlights of this year. We had records in the numbers of listenings and streamings. I wouldn't go in details, but I would just say that also Gazelle Hafla served as let's say advertisement somehow for the podcast. So actually the party and the podcast got success from each other, like they kind of alimented each other. And this year, after the wrapped of like Spotify for instance, the listenings and the streamings were 300% more than 2024. That's triple more listenings this year than last year. And that's also due to the collective and to the exposure on the media and to the party. And yeah, that's something I'm really proud of. It's streamed in more than 40 countries, which is wild. Like sometimes I see a name of a country I never heard of. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, you see like the podcasts listened in some island in somewhere in the world, and you're like, wow, there is someone in this island who actually knows about us. So this is actually the power of the podcast that we don't realize, but actually the podcast can travel everywhere, can enter everywhere, can really cross borders, specifically because it's in three languages. It's in French, it's in English, and it's in Moroccan Darija. So that also means there are Moroccans everywhere in the world. So yeah, so I wanted as well to highlight that. And now I would also like to talk about the aesthetics of Gazelle Hafla, because there is a mind behind it. So every party we did, every event we created, they had always a signature, they had always a meaning, there was always very specific care for the scenography. There was a lot of details. Some details people would notice, some they wouldn't, but it's okay because it makes a lot of sense for us. And there was one person that was actually behind that vision every time, someone who's not Arab but has to learn a lot about the Arab culture. So if you see our exchanges on Instagram, it's so funny. Just me sending him videos of Moroccan weddings, or like Lebanese parties, or like some references every time, because then we would meet and discuss, and I explain the ideas, and sometimes we fight, and then we hug, and at the end of the day, when you see the results, we're like so happy and proud. So I would also like to invite Sten to join us. Hi, Steno.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Maybe put the.
It's my first time in a talk, so
Well, you're a
normally I
DJ.
don't need to talk. I just play music. Yeah.
Well, welcome. And like I said at the beginning, this is really like a friends chat. It's not really like, don't think of it like as a panel talk or like something very of it like serious. So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited.
You gonna play today
Yeah.
after this? Good. What did you prepare?
All the things you asked.
Oh my god.
Make it Arab, make it Kanti. Let's see. I hope you're gonna like it.
Okay, people, they will really think that I'm a mean person now.
No, you're curating us, you know. I'm thankful for that.
So, how would you describe this year with Gazelle Hafla as the scenograph of all our events? What makes you feel like this experience?
Yeah, I think we did really a lot. Like a lot of things in 1 year, a lot of events.
9 months.
And big events, you know. And every time we say, "Oh, we're gonna do something cutesy and quick and little thing there," never. We always like do everything maximum. Let's say. Yeah, hell of a year. Lot of learning, lot of excitement, and yeah, I love to learn also as a as an architect, as a scenographer, because I'm not born to the culture, but learning about new aesthetics and stuff, it's very inspiring and very interesting. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, mm,
I'm as actually very proud of of how you also let's say um, evolue, like evolved within the collective, because it is very far away from your knowledge, from your aesthetics, from whatever you do, but you always had this really good listening like ear and a good eye. So whenever I would ask you for something, even if you don't know, you would go and search and try to understand this, and then you come with ideas, and then we discuss them, and then I give you more references, and then you go look for them. And for me, that was super good, and it was a good exercise, because what we do as well is how we present our culture to people who doesn't know our culture, because it's very easy to present, like to do a mix, or for an Arab person about Arab music, or to do a scenography that it's inspired from the Arab world to an Arab crowd. But then it's harder to do so for other communities and for other cultures and people who are not familiar with the codes and the references of the culture, and make them feel familiar with it. So this is also the role of the scenography. It's to make everybody feel welcome and safe and included, even though if they're not from the culture. And I think together, my vision with Stan's ideas combined in a very nice way, that we could always bring this mix of both. And what was your favorite project of this year? Let's say Like, where did you feel like, oh, this is what
I think the one in La Vallée was, yeah, because that was the first real thing, you know, after that thing we did in the winter with, yeah,
that thing?
with DIY, very like
That DIY.
bunch of amateurs. But yeah, the first one, I think, because then we really started to think of like, yeah, how we bring these ideas into scenography, you know, what are the tools and stuff. So yeah, I think that
Yeah,
one.
that I think it's my coup de cœur. It's for La Vallée. It was the idea was to bring scenography because La Vallée it's nice, but the venue itself inside it doesn't have a lot like doesn't have a spirit. It just feels like a bar or a coffee, and it really bothered us in that sense. The venue is amazing. Like I'm not saying it's bad, but it just doesn't feel cozy, you know. And the moment we agreed to do it there, we're like, how we gonna make this place cozy and warm? And it all went from an album cover of Haifa Wahbi from 2004, and we were like, how it's an iconic album, but Let Me Live, which is like kind of an anthem for Arab queer people. And we're like, how would we make this cover album into scenography? And it just came in the most beautiful way. I'm also like, yeah, it's my one of my favorite projects. And um, if there is one thing that you would do different, or what would you like to do different for next year or better?
Maybe we little bit overwhelmed with each with us, like, or yeah, with different events, but at the same time we didn't really push anything extra. It's just like the life went, you know, these events came to us and opportunities came to us. So I don't know, yeah, we were overwhelmed, but at the same time I wouldn't change anything.
But if one thing you can do better, scenography wise or logistic wise or artistically, I don't know.
Well, we also we try to listen our crowd and get some feedback from them, and we have some work to do. I think when we talk about safe space, and we always highlight that, but maybe have, you know, safe space or chill zone for only sober people, and also the people from this culture. They can be very free in our bodies, but they also maybe don't want to be exposed on pictures and on videos and stuff like that. So while taking footage of our body parties, I think we can work on these little details that make it even more like, yeah, inclusive and safe for everyone.
I think I agree, but just to make something clear, our parties were very safe. I don't recall us having any incidents that made anyone in an unsafe situation. But of course, there is always more to do to make even safer, because sometimes some people maybe they don't come to you or they don't talk. But like just in numbers, we had literally one incident. I think at Vauxhall, it was one person that was super drunk and they were immediately kicked out. But like we never had like any serious cases of security or unsafety. So I'm very proud of that, but it doesn't mean it won't happen, because there is no zero, you know, things could go wrong anytime. But the thing of the safer place for people who doesn't want to get exposed, that I got that a lot. Some people come to our parties and they don't want to be out or they don't want to be exposed, and it really put us in a situation where it's a bit hard, because everything we do is for the visibility of the community. It's to be there, it's to be seen. So the core of our work is visibility, and we said it since day one. And doing something in contradiction of that, if we say, for instance, no pictures allowed and no videos allowed inside our events, then we kill the visibility of what we want to do. We're actually undermining what they want to do on us, like we were in our or like countries of origins, where you have to hide, don't take pictures, do private parties, do underground. They don't want you to be on the surface. So if I go in that sense, I'm actually kind of putting on myself the exact same stuff they were putting on me before. So I want to tell these people that they are welcome, and we want to create maybe a space within the event where there can be no cameras, but like a part of the space. This is something we're really talking about it seriously to see how we can implement it. Or even I heard, like, for instance, there is this party who they give this kind of bracelets or like patch to people, and when the photograph see you with one of them, they don't take pictures of you because that means no picture. So there is so many ideas that we're discussing because we really want these people to keep coming and we want them to feel safe. But it's also, you know, it's a whole philosophical fight, let's say, within the collective. But it's definitely something we will be working on and trying to implement for next year. If I give you the same question, Ahmed.
For me, I would like to check to see more that first we give more community tickets for especially people in refugee centers who from our background that would love to come and enjoy and they can't afford it because these spaces are also made for them. I know we don't get subsidies, but I think we should consider or work with someone or organization that can help us as well reach out and even put these advertisements in these refugee camps, especially for queer people from our region, that they can come and enjoy as well and have access as well to party because it's their right as well. Um, Trans list, I love the trans list that we once
We did in La Vallée.
so we need to do more of that. And I know that we booked some artists from as well our community who's sans papier, without papers. I think we need to do more of this as well, just to annoy right wingers. Now I know that you will never get subsidies.
Well, we will. If you
ruined
if
it
you
for you.
hire someone and they are in administrative difficulties, you will not out them because that's not the point. You'll not out them as such. But yes, I do agree. I want us as well to keep doing. We have always done community tickets from day one, from the first till the last party, in different formats. Sometimes it's free, sometimes half a price, sometimes it's a guest list, sometimes it's a trans list, but it's one of our values since day one, meaning from the smallest event to the biggest event, we always gave community tickets. For next year, I think we should definitely keep doing that and doing it even better. I would nicely ask some people who can afford to buy tickets not to contact us for guest list, for instance, because this is something that we get a lot. And I'm like, if you can afford the tickets, please buy it, because this is how you can support us. But also, you can give that guest list to someone who actually cannot afford the tickets. So I am not against the guest list. I'm actually all for it. But I'm all for it for people who needs it, you know? Unless you're working at the party or you're volunteering or you're, you know, okay, of course. But I mean, for people who randomly knows us and just asks for guest list, I think it's actually nicer that you actually contribute and even give that spot. Think of it as like you're buying the spot for somebody else who doesn't have money. So I totally agree on this point, for in the sense of caring more. And for asylum seekers, I am already in contact with two organizations. And also one of them, it's with queer people who are Belgian, but they are in difficult situations because they were thrown out of their families or from their homes, and they don't have a house, they don't have a job. And with these two organizations, I'm trying to implement something where we offer them, by definition, a certain amount of tickets for free for the people that are part of their organization, so they can come to our events even without asking, you know, even without coming with an email or a DM. So for every event, we would give them like 10 or 12 or 15 spots, and they just send us the names, and we send them the tickets, and they can come. So I think this is something we can definitely do for next year. If I can do the same question to myself, I would say the communication we had this year, it was good. I got a lot of good feedback about our PR. I'm happy, I'm proud of it, but I do know that there is even better to do. I know that we can go born multilingual. Like for some people as well who comes to Belgium, they don't really speak English or good French. So maybe more communication in like native languages like Arabic or Darija would help. It's a lot of work. It's not like we don't want to do it, but already making a communication in one language, it's so hard. It's so much work. It's so much time. I'm dyslexic, so it's even harder. It's even harder. The amount of times I prepared something, and at the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's full of mistakes. I had to redo it again. So I will personally try to do more efforts, and maybe we will ask someone to join the collective to help us on this level. We are very open to that. Someone who would like to help on the PR, on the communication, on the multilingualism of our communication, this is something we're very open to. I could think about more training for the team about safety. We already did twice this year. We did with Brussels by night, me and Arthur, then I give you guys the training. Maybe we should do that as well every year because things always keep happening. So yeah, I think, I don't know if you have any more stuff. Yes.
I wanted to thank one group of people more, which I think we didn't mention. Maybe if we did, then well, they will get a double thank you. Is to Vostok, friend collective that we have that has helped with us with building the stage and sound and everything, and we wouldn't do stuff without them, honestly. Like Yuri and the team.
Of course, yes, totally. Yeah. Yeah, but Vostok is also one of the people who immediately were super helpful. They take on their shoulders part of our production. They're in the Vostok. And that's actually a good point that you bring, because this experience with the Vauxhall, it was a very big event that happened so quickly for us, because we went from 250 people to 400 people to 1,000 people within less than 6 months. So we didn't have enough experience, we didn't have enough resources, we didn't have enough knowledge, but yet we pulled it off. But there is things were happening in the background, because we actually, the Vauxhall event was our way of knowing how things really works in Brussels. And it wasn't something nice to discover, because most of providers and people you would work with, they're like 50 years old, more white straight men. And it just makes it so hard to communicate. It makes it so hard to find agreements. They always think profit and only profit. So it doesn't give us the chance even to, like, if you go in that road, you don't even get the chance to even create the event, because you know from before that it's gonna be a big lose. Even if you go sold out, even if people consume 100 euros each at your event, you're gonna lose a lot of money, because the prices are just unrealistic. And at some point, we were so desperate that we were like, okay, maybe we're gonna call off this event, because the math was not mathing, the numbers were not looking good, not the tickets, but like the production cost. And at some day, we decided to cancel every contract we have agreed to with all the providers, and we decided to do it the unorthodox way. And we went to our friends and our collective friends, and we went to Vostok, we went to Piste Mademoiselle, we went to Nashaz. Call of Dirty also supported us on some administration stuff. And this is how it all was built. It was a really like, a collective work, and a lot of, how to say, unorthodox solutions, like not the normal things, not the normal solution. We had to really think every time outside of the box. How would we do this, but with less costs and with less resources, and it doesn't show? Because at the end of the day, everything needs to look good and pro and clean and smooth. So this was like 4 times harder for us to do that. And thanks to people like Vostok, we managed to do it, and the costs were reasonable. and we still work together till today. So, yeah, please, for the Brussels provider scene, please be nice to us and to other collectives. So I think we're gonna finish soon. How much time we have? 10 minutes, okay.
Don't ask more questions.
Well, this is a talk. Do you want me to sing? Do you want me to sing?
Do a poetry.
I promised some tea. Okay. Well, this is an old new tea. I mean, it wouldn't shock anyone. But yeah, for next year, I'm saying this in a really nice way. Like, we're a group of people who works so hard. We put our heart in our work. People literally don't go to work some days to come work with us. I stopped my career to do what I do today. This is my only job. This is how I live my life today. And it's still shocking to me that we get so many requests from different organizations and from different events to come participate, to use our name, to be part of this thing for free. Please don't do that in 2026. I have already an email prepared for that. I will not do it.
A template.
There is a template. We will not do it because we would do it for some good causes. You know, when it matters, of course, with love, I would come do it for free. But when you have subsidy, when you sell tickets, when you make money, don't come asking me to be part of your party for two free drinks. I got this year asking us to book our artists because they support immigration artists. And then I was like, what's the fee? They're like, oh, they get 2 free drinks. I was like, this is how you support immigrant artists? By giving them 2 drinks? One to hype you and one to hydrate you. So yes, this is for the next year, there is a lot of, also this is the other side of Brussels, there is a lot of diversity washing. So they would come because they would like to use the name and to have the check, Arab and queer and trans. Wow, 3 in 1. So it's even easier if you get a trans Arab artist. And we know you, we see you, and yeah, this is not something that we would be doing. If you want to come to us, please welcome, but come with an honest interest and with an honest contract and with an honest collaboration and with a transparent speech, and also with a proper and fair pay for each artist, myself included.
Yeah, and worth mentioning on the other side, there is the other people who don't answer us. So they don't want, and they hold the space, they hold the power, they hold everything, and they are responsible for big venues, and we keep writing them, and it's just radio silence. So it's dominated by, I would say, white power, and all the events are white, and they never want to do something with other POC collectives. So there are 2 sides as well of this, and I just wanted to highlight it because we also struggled a lot to find venues.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, this is one of really, I've said it before in previous talks, and every talk I will have the chance, I will say it again. There are some places and institutions that, they are on the podium of inclusivity and on diversity, etc. That's what you see. But once you go to them, they don't even respond to your email. They don't even say, sorry, we can't host you, or sorry, we can't be with you on this project. We had that so many times from so many known institutions in Brussels. Your mind will be blown. And also, this journey made us realize who's really an ally and who is not, because I don't care if you put watermelon on your door if you actually don't do the work to include Palestinian, Arab, and queer artists in your official programmation, and not as the side activity that you do in your bar to have this inclusive way of doing things. So if you invite queer Arab artists, make them give them freedom, give them carte blanche, let them do their thing, pay them properly, and don't hire them to be a side activity on your bar or in your background or whatever you do in your institution, and then give the big platforms to the same white artists who are sometimes super creative and super talented, but it's just the same thing over and over again. So some difference and some diversity in the official programmation is beautiful, and it does bring people, and the proof it's us, because we brought 1,000 people to our parties. So I think if we did it, you can do it. Last part before we end this talk. What do you want to do next year? Sleep.
Have makeup courses. no, no, next year we're having a lot of nice ideas, honestly, and we just wish for more collaboration. As we said, we really have very cool ideas, very provocative, recreating cultural events from our culture, bring it here. It's gonna be so beautiful to see, really. And I love that we do everything around these concepts. That as well, it's a part of healing people here as well. So I think this is what we need: more healing, more care, and take us on a paid trip at some point. Team building.
You honestly, you deserve it. You all deserve it. Sten, do you want to add something before your beautiful set?
We can just keep on going. I think it's already a good way to go to the next year. Not to cry and not to stop everything because it's so hard and overwhelming. But yeah, just keep on going.
Big girls don't cry.
Yeah, and great work pays off eventually. So yeah.
So yes, I would like to say that we're gonna continue working and fighting and doing what we do with or without help, because we did it without. Of course, we can do it with. I want to say that we are working on a really, really, really cool project for the 7th of February. We didn't announce it yet officially. It's gonna be at Vir Novir, Vooruit, Ghent, talking about honest collaborations and honest contracts. This was one of the most fair and honest collaboration that was proposed to us, and we accepted it with a big heart. So we're working on a mini Gazelle Hafla festival for 12 hours, running 4 p.m., 4 a.m. There will be a day program with cultural stuff, dance workshops, music, talks, and there will be a big main act on a specific theme that I will not say now. And there will be an amazing party with amazing lineup. There is more than 16 artists that has been booked. So please do the trip and come to Ghent. It's 25 minutes and 10 euros by train. And on this, yes, I want to finish the discussion on this and say thank you to my amazing team. I love you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of us. And the best is yet to come.
Thank you.